Okay, Kelly, this is probably going to get broken up into a couple of videos, but you can see I have, this one's 3 pounds of pork. I put it in frozen, and then I slow cook it until it marries all together, and then I make sure that I'm cutting it up into like round, smaller bites for the mouth. Be right back, and I'll show you what I do next. Now I'm going to add some spice and lean protein to this. I use turmeric. And I kind of just cover this lightly. Sorry. Just get a light covering on the meat, so it just looks a little bit light orange here. So just a small layer. Okay. And then I also use a couple of seeds to help with the protein gathering here. So these are chia seeds. I think you can also use flax. You can see I don't really measure it. I just kind of make a nice little light layer on the top. And then I use hemp seeds, also a super lean protein. And you can see I'll just kind of make a little bit more of a coating with these guys. And they come in a bag like this, organic hemp hearts you can order from Amazon. And then when we start the protein in the bowl, we use a cold pressed coconut oil, virgin coconut oil, organic. And then I usually use a fruit. So these are freeze-dried blueberries, but I always use blueberries, and then I'll probably put in an apple also. So I'll get more of that in just a second. Okay, so I have my frozen berries, and this is a 10-ounce bag with organic. I've added some raspberries to this, so I probably won't use the whole thing. I usually do like half and then half. So I will throw these in. I want the meat to finish because it's still a little pink. So I'll show you in just a few seconds. So this is my chicken of the sea, but see how it's pink Alaskan wild caught salmon, no bones, skinless, boneless. And these are sardines in water. I can't find them without a preservative, so I just go for these because they are in sea salt. I use a cup of this organic rice measured in the dry size, and I use a little bit of this cinnamon in with the rice to create a beautiful sweet smelling cinnamon rice, which makes a nice savory, beautiful smell in the house. And then the 2 cans of pumpkin puree go into here once I finish with all of these things. I like to mix the pumpkin before the rice goes in because then it's just easier on the moving things all around. So I'll show you here. I've got my rice cooker. I put my 1 cup in. I do 1 1/4 cup of water for that. And then you can see me doing some spice here in a second. I take one of these small teaspoons, but it's about 1/8. I think this one's 1/4, sorry. So I'm going to do 1/4 today. And see that. Put them in. Maybe just a little bit more because I'm at the bottom of this guy. And then we'll put the water in next. Just 1 1/4 cup. Okay, I have added all of my 2 cans of pumpkin, my rice. Now you can also substitute for rice. I would use sweet potato. It's I think a little bit leaner of a carb for you, and you know it can give them. For the weight loss is what you're looking for. So I'm gonna add. I bought these spinach. I'm gonna do with spinach And I'm probably gonna do 1 green bean. And these are 16 ounces, so that's a whole, obviously a pound, right? And a peas and carrots. And then I'm gonna do these 2 at the end. So yeah, that's kind of my new recipe now. Instead of using 3 whole pounds of pork, I've started now to use 2 pounds of pork, and then I do 2 cans of this, which is 5 ounces. So if you add them together, that's 10. And then these are 4.4 for the sardines. So I'm substituting a pound of pork for the fish. And that's just, you know, giving them better omegas. You know, instead of doing 2 things of peas and carrots, I'm now adding the spinach. You can add, you know, fresh tomato. In the book, I just kind of look at things and kind of push them around. I've started to use some kiwi. I've done peaches in the crock pot. So I just buy a frozen fruit and kind of have that on hand just to make it easy. With the sweet potatoes, you can either buy a whole sweet potato, like in Publix, they have baggies of them. And you can see you probably want to use like 2 pounds because that's what I'm using, or sorry, a pound, because that cup of rice, you know, makes a pound of rice. So I would use 1 to 2 cans of that sweet potato instead of the rice, if that's what you're going to go for your starch. So let me get this kind of in here so you can kind of see what it looks like. So far I've got the rice in there, the 2 cans of the pumpkin. I put in my veggies, which are the fruit, which is the blueberries and some raspberries, my 3 pounds of pork, the coconut oil to cook it in. Then I've got my 2 sets of seeds, and I put some turmeric. I've also added some cinnamon. So the hemp seeds and the chia seeds. Then I'm going to do the salmon, sardines, spinach, peas and carrots, and green beans. So also what I like to do is I like to cook the things before I put it into the rice cooker. So like the rice, I cook it before I put it in just to make the making of the meal to go to get it done quicker throughout the day. I've gotten it down to a science where I can pretty much cook everything and get it put together. And once the meat comes together, it's 2 hours from a frozen standpoint. And then it maybe takes me about a half an hour after that. Just want to let you know that if you have any leftover vegetable broth or not vegetable, because it does have onion usually. If you have any leftover chicken broth or chicken stock, you can use that to cook your rice, especially if you have any little bit of leftover from like a soup or whatever. You can use that chicken stock also. It's just a good way to get it, you know, out of the house, get it finished up. So I'm going to put these frozen veggies into here, and then I'm just going to cook them in the microwave for like 6 or 7 minutes to get them de-thawed and just to incorporate it faster into the food. But also same with the spinach, you can do that as well. I choose not to, just because spinach is kind of, when it starts from that frozen standpoint, it's kind of gnarly to maintain and handle.